For many Australians, superannuation is their number one asset besides their family home. If you don't know what's going on in your superannuation space, you must watch this video right now. Hi there, it's Mark Harry from McCarthy Group, and today I'm joined by the CEO of Stratex Advisory, Norman Howe. Norman, welcome.
Hi Mark, good to be here.
Thanks for joining us. Now Norman, the reason we're making this little video today is because we've had a lot of information, a lot of communication from clients and others asking about superannuation, what it is or how it works, and in particular what options they've really got. So today we're going to drill into a thing called Self-Managed Super Fund, or SMSF. So can you give us perhaps a brief quick overview of an SMSF? What is it? What does it mean?
Okay, self-managed super funds, a bit like what it says. You manage your own super rather than someone it's a third party. Mm-hmm. And then some of the benefits of that, Mark, is that it's all about control.
Control, yep.
Knowing where your investments are, because most people, when we talk to them, they've got no idea.
Okay.
You know, and someone else is not aligned to what they're trying to achieve. They're doing the money, they're doing the investments, but that's it.
Okay, so let's look at some of the challenges with superannuation generally. What's some of the problems we've got there with superannuation?
Yeah, a lot of it is people don't know where their money's invested. They don't know how much they need to put away. They don't know what they're trying to achieve in the end, because it's not really my money. It just goes into this thing. I don't really know what's going on.
But hang on, isn't this probably for most mums and dads the number one asset, other than their family home, perhaps? This is the number one thing.
Absolutely, Mark, and that's where people need to take a little bit more responsibility and accountability for what they're going to do. And if you're going to do that, a self-managed super fund is the right thing, but it's not for everyone, Mark.
Okay, well, why not? Why doesn't everyone get a chance at the thing called SMSF? What's going on there?
That's a good question. You generally need about $200,000 per person to set up one of these self-managed super funds. The second reason is that most people don't have the time. They think they don't have the time.
Right.
So it goes down to, we have got that sort of amount of money. We want to get ahead. Mm-hmm. And the other thing with SMSFs, you can do things with them you can't do with traditional super.
Okay. So if we just clarify then some of the problems, if you like, of the traditional super. This is the things like your industry funds, things like your corporate funds or the retail funds you see out there. Now, what we've found, and you've certainly taught me more about this as well, is that, as you say, they don't necessarily achieve the result people are looking for. This is the number one asset, and yet it falls well short of the mark.
It does. Most people right today, the average people retiring on $300,000 for a male, about $160,000 for a female. That's not going to get you very far for a pension. So taking responsibility, if you want to build your nest egg up, how do you do it? And one of the ways is with an SMSF where you can borrow inside of these things.
Okay, yep.
Go and buy property. So you now would be responsible for how your money's invested rather than relying on someone else.
So I guess the key message of today is drive your own bus. Learn how to drive your own bus rather than relying upon others. Traditionally, these are unions and banks and other folk who might not necessarily have your best interest at heart. If you can drive your own bus, you've probably got a better chance of achieving the result.
Very much so. So what happens is that you know where your money's going to be invested. You're going to make that choice. You're going to be accountable. You can get a bigger nest egg at the other end if you do it right. And over the time, one of the big things is you control costs. So you know how in your ordinary super that you get this thing at the end of the year, you're not quite sure how much fees you pay?
Yep.
What we've found that when we do back-to-back comparisons, it's so much more where you are than doing it yourself over time.
Okay. Thank you, Norman. Well, look, we've only got enough time to briefly touch on these things. If you want to know more, there's a couple of websites below. One is to look at Stratex Advisory. Please click on that link to learn more about Norman's business. And secondly, there's a link below. Click on that little balloon, that little bubble, and that'll take you to a space where you can ask Norman some or get some information from Norman. All his details are there. So thanks again for watching. I appreciate your time and take control. Bye-bye.